This is the Noveske Ghetto Blaster. I've been wanting to do this video for some time. And a lot of people have asked me to do a video on this Ghetto Blaster because I posted it a few times on my Instagram page. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. That's where I post all the cool shit. I mean, I post the cool shit here too, but you know, you get the point. All right, so for those who don't know, Noveske is one of those companies. They're like a boutique productions rifle company. That doesn't really make sense, but whatever. The people that love Noveskes freaking love Noveskes. And they're not exactly the easiest rifles to get, generally speaking, but you can get them. You can get them. But one of the rifles, and I have other Noveskes, but this one sung to me. And not just because of the name, even though I think it's one of the coolest names on a rifle that I've ever heard, which is the Ghetto Blaster.
Just watching this video, a word from our sponsor. Have you ever thought about making a living in the firearms industry? If you enjoy gun repair, ballistics, and learning about firearms, Sonoran Desert Institute's online courses might just be a good fit for you. To find out more, visit sdi.edu or call 480-999-4767 today. All the ammo used in this video was brought to you by Nosler, maker of the most innovative, most accurate, and most effective bullets and ammunition in the industry.
You remember the old boom boxes that people used to walk around? Yeah, those were called Ghetto Blasters. Now, when I do a fooling video on this, I'll go into the history behind why. It's a little pejorative, depending on who you talk to, but I still think it's pretty freaking cool. And I think it's even cooler that I have it in bazooka green. Bazooka green. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe it's age, but I'm starting to actually like colors a little bit more. Not really, I'm always gonna be obsessed and love black. All black, everything. So what I wanted to do is kind of do an initial video on this gun, even though I've had it for a while. Well, at least I've had it long enough to SBR it, because this came to me as an SBR. So it was sitting in jail for a rather long time. Actually, this is probably the rifle that has sat in SBR jail for the longest time, because when it comes as a SBR and not a pistol that you're trying to convert to an SBR, it takes even longer. This is chambered in 300 blackout, which is why another reason why I love this so much, because that is my favorite round. This is a 7.9-inch barrel with a pistol length gas tube, and it's essentially kind of a beefier version of the Honey Badger. I mean, if you look at it, it kind of looks like it looks like the Honey Badger, but to the discerning eye, you could see the difference. Like, you know, the stock looks like the Honey Badger stock, because it essentially is. But where it starts getting different is when you start talking about the lower and upper receiver, especially with the rail system. The rail system compared to the Honey Badger is a lot different. The way this gun feels is a lot different from the Honey Badger. Where the Honey Badger is really light and almost borderline flimsy, depending on who you talk to, this feels solid. Like, I mean, there's no play, nothing. I mean, it just is a solid rifle. This thing is so solid. And you notice it the moment you pick it up. Now, as far as the way the gun comes outfitted, the only changes I've made to this gun thus far are the brake. The brake comes actually with the Q Cherry Bomb. I took that off and put on a Surefire brake because I have a lot of Surefire cans that I wanted to run with this. And then I added, of course, foregrip, and that's about it. Well, I mean, of course, I put the Surefire light, which needs to be tightened up here. I have my Embus Pro sights, and I have my Leupold LCO, which I think I want to put on a riser. And the reason why I want to put it on a riser is honestly because of the way this stock works. Because this stock compared to the Honey Badger, the Honey Badger, I think it has two positions. This has one, two, no, I think the Honey Badger has three positions. And this one has two. Yeah, so this has two positions. Or does the Honey Badger only have one position? I can't remember. Hey, put it in the video, Peter. You do your editing thing. The thing about this stock, I love the way it looks, but when your optic is not high enough, it kind of sucks. So I'll show you. So here, so it's like I have the barrel down on it, but then I'm not really getting a lot of shoulder contact. It's almost like I'm using the tip because I got to get down to the optic. So you can make the argument, is it the optic fault or is it the stock's fault? So it's easily, I can rectify this issue by just putting it on a riser. So I can put this gun on a riser, wouldn't be an issue. So usually with 300 blackouts, most people want to suppress them. That's why you get a 300 blackout, generally speaking, because they suppress so well. However, this is one of those guns where I actually don't want to suppress it. I mean, I'll take that back. Where I'm okay with it not being suppressed. And the reason why is because when it's like this in this configuration, this is almost borderline one of my favorite platforms because it is so incredibly balanced. It's solid, but balanced. I actually am a big fan of the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger is super light, but it almost can kind of feel toy-y a little bit, and that can be a little bit unnerving. But I've hunted hogs with the Honey Badger and running through forests and so forth and so on, and never had an issue. So, you know, pick your poison. But the thing I love about this is the way this gun recoils when it doesn't. You notice how I kind of have the gun canted a little bit to get more shoulder space? That's probably not the best thing to do in the world, but like I said, once I find a riser for it, you should be good to go. But I love the way this gun recoils without a cam. And I love the way it's balanced because it allows me to just easily stay on target, and I can drive the gun really easily. Now, I'm shooting supers right now. I probably wouldn't do that with subs. If I was gonna shoot this with subs, I'd suppress it. But the gun has a beautiful recoil impulse. It's just straight and it's very linear. Straight, very linear. It doesn't recoil that hard at all. Now, I'm pretty sure the Surefire brake is doing a lot of the mitigation as well, but combine this setup the way it is set up now, I like it. So we have this stock. We also have the mag pull grip. We have the mag pull safety. Functionally, this mag pull safety is good. It's ambidextrous. The problem is it feels kind of cheap because it's plastic. So it feels kind of cheapy, so I'm so used to metal selector switches, but it's very smooth when you activate and deactivate it. Of course, you can actually lock the bolt back here on this side and you can lock it on the other side. So by and large, this gun is completely ambidextrous. All right, let's talk about this trigger. So this is a Geisley trigger. I think, oddly enough, I think this trigger works really well on this gun. It's the flat face trigger. I think it's the 3-gun dynamic trigger, if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see here, it's kind of a dual personality trigger because you can run it as a 2-stage right there. Boom, boom. And then you can run, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not intending for that to happen. So that's the one thing about this particular Geisley trigger. I would just suggest running it like a 1-stage trigger. So instead of trying to meet that wall, because there is a wall there, if you really wanted to, and you had the dexterity and ability to fine-tune feel that wall, again, I did not plan to do that. I mean, I planned to pull the trigger, but I was trying to find the wall. So this trigger is a little bit harder to find the wall on. So I generally treat this like a single-stage trigger. So instead of trying to find that wall, I just sweep right through it. Because otherwise what's gonna happen is I'm trying to find that wall, and then I'm probably gonna let the round go a little bit sooner than I really want to. So for me, this trigger is a gift and a curse for me because I love it because it's so smooth and it's so clean and it breaks so nice. But when I try to run it as a 2-stage trigger, it makes me a little unnerving. So I just run it as a single-stage trigger, so I don't even hit the wall. I just come through, sweep, and if I wanna hold it back, the reset, super nice, boom. The beautiful thing about the trigger is you can run it like a lunatic. That is where this trigger shines, is how fast you can run it. As you can see, I wasn't even using the fundamentals of holding a rifle, and I was able to just drill it and sit on target. So now, I know what you've been waiting for. You wanna see what does it shoot like when it's suppressed. Give me 1 second. All right, so you really start to understand the personality of a 300 blackout rifle once you start putting a suppressor on it. Some 300 blackout rifles have adjustable gas blocks, some don't. This is one of the rifles that don't. And sometimes you can go from liking a 300 blackout rifle to absolutely hating it once you suppress it because sometimes it can be overgassed, not gas enough, all this weird stuff, right? Generally speaking, with subs, not really an issue. It's supers that become a little problematic. So right now I have some supers in here, and let's see what this is talking about. God, this thing. So, noticeably, one of the things I've noticed about this is I'm not getting a lot of gas blowback. So that's another thing about putting a suppressor on during the blackout that could kind of suck, is getting a lot of gas to your face when you're shooting it. And I'm not getting a lot of that at all. So that is, good job, Noveske. Now, I'm gonna switch over to the subs, and things should get really, really, really quiet. I know I'm wearing Ear Pro. I'm just too lazy to take them off, so just bear with me. So I still have a super in the chamber. I'm gonna run the super, and then we'll go to subs, and you'll see the difference. So super, now the subs. It's crazy how much quieter things get once you put the subs on there. But if we're being honest, subs are essentially a stepped up 45. It's like a 45, but just with more coefficiency, you know. I'm gonna do a video on the truth about 300 blackout here soon. So, but stay with me. So, subs, look at this, watch. Oh man, and that's folks why I love 300 blackout, because there are very few rounds that can just put that type of smile on your face the way 300 blackouts can, at least for me. And honestly, it has one of the coolest names in ammo history. 300 blackout. None of you should be surprised that I love the cartridge. I mean, you really shouldn't. Like, if you do, you underestimate my cheesy. Plain and simple. But either way, this is the Noveske Ghetto Blaster. And I seriously look forward to doing a full-length review. I'm gonna spend some more time with this bad boy, kind of get my thoughts wrapped up around it, and definitely do a ton of more shooting with it, because I enjoy shooting this immensely. And then we'll put together really something sexy and beautiful. And it really don't matter, because this thing is gorgeous. Noveske Ghetto Blaster. Shut up, Peter. I know you're thinking something stupid. I'm not falling for that again. Okay, keep recording. Except now you're walking backwards. So yeah, keep walking backwards. I'll walk you straight into the ditch. Then what?
Right now, shop.mrcolionnoir.com, we just released our new Stanley style water tumblers or coffee tumblers or whatever you want to put in it, because this keeps your cold drinks cold for 24 hours and your hot drinks hot for 12 hours. On top of that, you get your straw, but even better, you can make it leak proof. But the best thing about it is you can actually put any of the designs, the 2A designs that I have at shop.mrcolionnoir.com on your tumbler. So now you have a better looking tumbler with better functionality. And yeah, so head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com or hit the link in the description section and grab your Pro 2A tumbler today. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.